Okay, good evening to you all. Today is our day 5 of this 3-month Data Analytics Bootcamp 2.0. Like I said, this bootcamp will last for 3 months, and today is our day 5. Like always, we always start by showing our, that is outlines what we are to cover for the day. So today, like always, we are going to cover the following. These are what we are going to cover for today. We are going to discuss about a recap on day 4, and we'll also talk about formula and function. Then we'll talk about simple arithmetics. These are what we are going to cover for today. If you can recall, yesterday we discussed about how to insert row and column, how to delete row and column, and also how to text wrap a text in a cell, and we discussed merge and center. These are what we discussed yesterday, and I believe it's something very easy, which each and every one of you try it, and I believe you did it well. Then that's all, because today we are moving forward. We're going to discuss about formula and function. That's what we are going to discuss about, and simple arithmetics. So please, you should understand what this formula and function means, because it's something that confuses a lot of people while learning this Excel. When we said formula, we are talking about the mathematical operation. That when we talk about a formula, a mathematical operation that will give you a result, or that will give you any outcome, that's what we mean by formula. When we said function, we are talking about predefined formula in Excel, or any predefined formula. That's what we mean by function. So we have formula in Excel and we have functions. And most of what you are going to keep using, or what you are going to use in Excel, most of them are function. Unless if you want to create your own formula using different functions, then yeah, you can do that by yourself. But most of what you are going to keep using are function. When we say formula, it's just a mathematical expression that, for example, let's say 1 plus 1. If we say 1 plus 1, we put 1 and we put plus sign, we put another 1, it will give us 2, because it's a formula for addition. We give the formula, maybe 2 minus 2, or 2 minus 5, or 5 minus 2, or something like that. All these expressions, mathematical expressions, are formula. So in Excel, whenever you pass a formula like this, you put something and you put the sign of that particular expression or operation, then it is a formula. That's what we call a formula. Then function is predefined formula. It's something in Excel. It's already created in Excel. It's already created in Excel. You can't see the formula. Sometimes you don't even understand how the formula comes to be. But the formula is there. All you need is to call the function. That function will trigger the formula, and the formula will work for you. For example, we have sum function in Excel, sum, S-U-M. We have this sum function in Excel. Sum function in Excel is addition. It's addition formula in sum. But you are not going to write the sign of addition. You are not going to pass that sign of addition. That is plus sign. You are not going to pass it. Once you write sum open bracket, you select the cells you want to add together. It will just give you the addition. It will do the addition for you. You don't need to put the sign of plus there. And also, for example, average. There is average function. Average function, if we said average, we already know what average is. That is total sum divided by total count. That's what average is. So average, the formula of average is total sum divided by total count. That's what average is. That's what average is. But average function in Excel, all you need to is to write average, open bracket, then you highlight the cells or the range where the figures are or where the data is, then it will give you automatically, it will give you the average without giving or without writing the formula of average. That's what it will give to you. So these are the things that you are going to keep using. You are going to start using it. When we say formula, we are talking about the mathematical expression you are going to give. And when we say function, we are talking about the predefined mathematical operation or predefined formula in Excel that you are going to use that will give you what you need without necessarily knowing how it comes to being. Because you don't know, sometimes I've told you some of the function you are going to keep using, you don't know how the functions come to being. All you need is to call the function because they are already predefined in Excel. They are there. All you need is to call them. When you call them, you trigger them, then they will work and they will give you whatever you want in your work. So this is the formula and this is function. And there is something that you need to understand about this. Function is like the easiest way of using formula in Excel. Is the easiest way. So for example, sometimes if you kind of need it to be, you have to do things faster than how you want it to be, you use function instead of formula. Even in this addition and sum, in this addition and sum, we have plus sign. For example, I have 2, 3 or more columns in within a cell. I want to add them together. Instead of me to use formula, addition formula to add them together, it's better for me to use sum, that is to use function of addition to add them together. So this is something that, of course, that has to do with why you need to use formula and why you need to use function. So when you have two more cells to add together, it's better to use function instead of formula. But when you have maybe little cells to add together, maybe 1 or 2 cells to add together, you can use formula to do that. Another way of using formula instead of function is that when you have cells, when you want to add cells together, but the cells are not within the same range. For example, you want to add B1, C1, E1, D, or maybe you want to add, for example, A1 plus A3 plus B5 plus C6. So you see, you are going to pick them randomly from different cells. You are going to add them together randomly. So when you are going to use that, then it's better for you to use formula. You can't use function because you use function when you have the cells in the same range. All you need is to highlight them all and they will do what you want for you. Please, I'm sorry, today we are just going to have a explanation about all this. I want you to understand them fully because tomorrow we are going to do the practical so that you'll understand them more. But today is more of for you to understand all this and to know how they work. So if you hear formula, it's talking about the mathematical expression. When you hear function, it's talking about the predefined formula in Excel. And I've told you we are going to use more of the function throughout that what you are going to keep using because the formulas are not much. The functions are what we are going to use. So you are going to keep memorizing function. You are going to memorize a lot of functions in your head. So the next thing is simple arithmetics. When we say this simple arithmetic, we are talking about, normal simple arithmetics. Plus, that is addition, multiplication, subtraction, division. I think that's the simple arithmetics that we have. So when you hear it, that's what we are discussing, that's what we are talking about. We're talking about simple arithmetics. So you see, now we are going to have a practical of this simple arithmetics. We are going to have practical of this simple arithmetics so that you will see how plus works, how to add 2 or more cells, how to minus plus 2 or more cells, how to multiply 2 or more cells, how to divide 2 or more cells. We are going to do that so that you will see it and you will learn from it. And as from today, you learn it, you know how it works, and it will help you to start calculating, to calculate a lot of things, to put a lot of things together. Without using calculator, Excel is your own calculator. You can just go ahead and use it and it will work for you. So let me just see, please just give me some minutes. I'm coming. Okay, I think we will reserve the practical till tomorrow. Definitely the practical will be reserved tomorrow. That when we are going to have the practical of this simple arithmetics that I just mentioned. So we are going to use to do it the practical tomorrow. Today is more of the theory. So if you have a question related to this, that is with related to formula and function, you ask. And if you have anything that we need to ask, just ask it. We call it a day. Tomorrow we are going to have the practical of this. Then we'll discuss about the remaining outlines for the week. That is, we are going to discuss about the average and percentage. That's what we are going to call to do tomorrow, so that we call it a day. So that's what we are going to discuss today. If you have a question, please, you can ask a question. Yeah, so in no practical today. Yeah, the extension is not showing. Don't worry, no practical. I'm not talking about anything. We are just explaining it. I want you to understand this, because this is what you are going to work more of. So understand this, because when we start after this, whatever we are going to treat after today is going to have to do with either function or formula. So we are going to start either function or formula from tomorrow up till I think week 8. I think up till week 8 or week 7, we are going to keep working with that. So I want you to have a good understanding of this before we start tomorrow. So I will save the practical. So tomorrow we will start the practical. And from tomorrow, you are going to start working with data. So if you have a question, please, you ask. Yeah, like I said, essential is very essential to use, because Excel is full of functions. Some of the formulas we don't know. Like, let me tell you one thing. We are going to work with that. For example, if formula that is conditional formula. If formula that you are seeing, you don't know how it works. You don't know the formula, but the functions is there, because Excel, let me tell you one secret about Excel. Excel was created with C# programming language. You see, this programming language, Excel itself is a programming language, but the interface was created for user to be a user friendly, so that everybody can work with it without learning programming language. When we say function, if you learn programming language, when we say function, function is a derivation of a lot of expression. It's like it's an expression written. It's a statement you write that is going to do a lot of things for you. It's like algorithm. So it's full of algorithm. Excel is full of such algorithm that now, if you are to learn such algorithm, the derivation of one algorithm is something that can, fool a maybe 2 police cap or more than that. The derivation of that. But if you are using this function, all you need to is you don't need to know what is behind that particular function. All you need to is to know the name of the function, because the function is in Excel. When you call the function, then you are going to use the function. You just call it, then you trigger it, is going to do it for you. You are going to learn the average function. I've already told you. Now, it's very easier for me to teach you average function than for me to tell you what is average. A lot of people didn't know what is average, and they are working with Excel. I've told you, but they don't know what is average formula. So there is average formula and there is function for average. But some of the formulas has no, even me, let me tell you, you don't know the formula. For example, we have if statement. You don't know the formula of if statement, because in mathematics, there is no such formula. It's in programming language that there is that function. So yes, I can tell you how the function comes into being, but now we are going to go back to programming language. Then we are going to learn a lot. Then we are going back. We are going to learn a lot of things there. Then you come back to this. And these people that create this, I've told you, you can't know how they create a lot of them. We have dated if, we have if, like I said, we have if arrow, we have a lot of formulas that we are going to work with that has to do with some ifs, count ifs. You don't know how they come up with that count if. For example, it's a formula that count based on condition. You give it condition, you ask it to count how many Ahmad are within the data. You just give it a condition to do that for you. If you were asked what is the formula of that count if, you don't know. How did they create that formula? You don't know. So it's a function. All you need to is to use the function. You don't know what is behind that function. It's just their secret, their own secret for them to create Excel. So we have some ifs, we have some products, we have count ifs, we have concatenate, we have a lot of formulas that you are going to learn. You can't reason how they came up with it, because they use programming language to create the interface. All you need to is to work with the interface, and that's how it works. And I will talk about this simple arithmetic tomorrow. You will see issue related to this function and formula, because out of this simple arithmetics, out of these 5 or 4 of them, only addition has function. Only addition has function. The remaining subtraction, multiplication, division, they don't, all of them has no function. It's only the formula that we have in Excel, but we don't have function of them. But it's only addition that has function, and I will tell you why. It's because, like I told you, it's addition that people use frequently, because it's kind of very rare for someone to add more than 3, or to minus more than 3 numbers together. Maybe 2 minus 3 minus 4 minus 5 minus 6 minus, so it's very, very uncommon, and it's unusual for somebody to use that. And it's very unusual for somebody to say 2 minus 2 times 3 times 4 times 5 times 6 times 7 times 8 times 9. Is very unusual. Or for someone to say 2 divided by 3 divided by 4 divided by 5 divided by 6 divided by 8 divided by, is very unusual. But what is common is for you to add more than 100 numbers together to get the sum of that numbers. You can add more than 1 million numbers together, or 2,000 millions, 200,000 numbers together. Is very common. 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus is something that is common. So that way there is function of addition, but there is no function for the other arithmetic, simple arithmetics things that we have. So this is why we have function for addition and we don't have function for the rest. So the rest we are going to work with them. Tomorrow you are going to see how it works. I'll drop the video so that you just listen to what we just discussed now, to help you a lot, so that tomorrow when we start the practical of this, then you will learn more and more and more. So I think I didn't see any message question in the chat. I think you don't have any, so I will drop it for you. Don't worry, the way we are moving, you see that we are just moving slowly like snail. Don't worry, don't mind how we are moving. I don't want you to mind it. I don't want you to get lost in the process. I want you to understand this is the bedrock. This is the foundation. We are week 1. I don't want you to lose it. Just keep following the way it is. 20 minutes, you just reward the video is okay. Put it aside and continue your things. Tomorrow we continue from where we stop. Yeah, so I think let's stop here. Today is enough. We call it so comfort, don't mind the start. Yeah, you shouldn't mind the start. We are just doing it gradually. When we go deep, yeah, you know that, yeah, it's better for us to go like this. So I think let's call it a day. I'll drop the video in few minutes, then you can watch it. Thank you so much. Please have a wonderful dream. Good night to you all.